Here we are, end of December 2021 for our 28th podcast of the year.
On Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve.
Is it the best podcast yet?
They're all so good, but this one's really good. It's really good. I mean, we've talked about a lot of these topics over the year. We've posted about them. Basically, it's a year in reflection. So those that follow probably know a lot of what we're going to say or whatever else. I think we're going to add some more value, though, because we've thought through some of these very important topics.
Yeah, we thought through these questions, these 5 questions, and Eric and I asked ourselves these questions and along with our clients, right? So we kind of picked what are the most valuable questions heading into 2022 for ourselves personally,
right,
and for whoever else wants to ask these questions to themselves.
And the whole point is to be better selves, better human beings, better everything. And unless you reflect and know where you came from and know what you could have done better and be honest and be authentic, how are you going to move forward if you...
I mean, it's very easy to remain stuck, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, asking these questions
what does stuck mean?
Not going inside yourself, specifically your emotions, your mind, your career, doubts, fears, anxieties, depressions, any of those emotions, low frequency emotions these low frequency emotions that, we've just been conditioned to think are normal, right?
Right.
It's okay to feel like this, and
and stuck is not growing, right?
Right.
Because if you're not growing, you're dying. You're either doing one thing or the other, and that's what's important. You're either moving in the right direction or you're moving in the wrong direction. There is no I'm moving in the middle direction, and that's what we preach, and that's what we are doing with ourselves, and we understand that we have a lot of work to do for ourselves personally, a lot of work to do with our clients, and that's the value that we bring is the growth, mind, body, and soul. It's not just muscle growth. It's not whatever else. It's
so I
getting people out of getting stuck.
Right, exactly. And we always say that we're not a gym, but we're a mental gym as well. We're here to train clients and their muscles and their respiratory system, but we're also here to train the mental muscle. And that's why these questions are important, because they help train your mental muscle. And until I started asking these questions to myself, 2-3 years ago, my mental muscle wasn't as good as my physical muscles.
Right.
But now it's getting better and sharper. And we're here to grow our muscles just as anyone else. So it's like it's a journey we're all taking together. That's why we're doing these podcasts, is to grow our mental muscles.
So Jeremy and I miscommunicated right before this podcast. I thought we were going for a run first. Then, because we have an hour and a half of sunshine left today, it's 51 degrees, which is amazing for Cleveland, the end of December. We're going to push our limits and run more than 5 miles is the goal. We'll see how far we get, and you'll probably see a post on December 24th, so you'll know how far we ran. But anyway, I was so ready to go and so excited, oops, it's the podcast.
It's okay.
So
it's a podcast. We're just as excited. But we'll talk about the run, and that is a challenge for us, especially me. I only started running 2 years ago, so to go and run 7 miles now.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
You ran 2 years
ago?
Well, it was 2 months ago.
Well, honestly, I didn't even run at all up until like a couple years ago. Then I would start jogging, but like half a mile to a mile.
Right.
Never like 5 mile runs. I would
Right.
never think about that. And I was always using the excuses. I don't need to. I do high intensity training. But there is a big difference, and that's part of my growth. And we can just even dive into it because let's talk about this.
But that's why it's important to talk about the fact that everything is so interconnected, that all of our cells and our mind and everything. And when you start running longer distances, and I never knew this, I never connected those dots, and the sit-ups that you do and the strength training that we do and the leg workouts that we do help you be a better runner. Running helps you better in the gym, makes you feel better, makes you not feel old, and man, it's all so interconnected. It makes you want to eat right, and you sleep better, and I mean, so many things.
It's all connected. Everything is connected.
Okay. So let's dive in. Question number 1.
Question number 1.
What is it?
So the question is, and it's, I guess it's a 3-part question. So most of these questions are going to be 3 parts, and they're also going to cover different parts of life. So for example, here, I'll read it. Question number 1. When you look back on last year, what were your biggest wins? What mistakes did you make? And what did these experiences teach you? Now, you can break them down into your professional life, emotionally, mentally, kind of together, financially, and spirituality. So it's a loaded question. That's question number 1, but it kind of breaks it all down.
Sure. So what do you want to talk about? What did we do well first?
I mean, look, biggest wins, I feel like I had a lot of them, a lot of wins. Professionally, Zero Doubt Club was officially launched in 2021.
Right.
So that's huge because that was my 2020 vision manifesting, thanks to you as well, into Zero Doubt Club. So it's a massive win. Emotionally, I'm much happier. I have a lot more to be thankful for. Filled with joy because I feel like I'm doing what I really want to do finally. I have less anxiety. I feel like my fear level in life in general has gone down like a lot compared to, let's say, 3-4 years ago. I'm more calm. That's the emotionally and mentally part. Spiritually is when you can finally really start trusting in the universe and that we're all here for a reason. And I feel like this has been my biggest year for that. And it's because of my awareness and me being able to really, really be aware of how I feel and what's around me more than ever in my life. And because of that, the universe has given me these clues and these signs. And it's called synchronicity. When you're just tapped into, the present moment, you start seeing like these little signs. For example, I'll tell the story where I was talking to Nathan yesterday on the phone, and he started asking me about what I got him for Christmas, and we got into a Christmas talk, and I said, Nathan, every day is Christmas. Okay? Every day is Christmas. If you really think about it, there's so much to be grateful for. You have everything. 2 hours later, he calls me. He's like, guess what? I just watched a movie with Julie, and the whole movie was about every day is Christmas.
That's crazy.
Now, is that just random circumstances? No, because it happened again yesterday on another call. Literally, we were talking about the Matrix and how we are like in this program where we're conditioned to think a certain way and follow certain rules, and it is a Matrix. And I'm like, have you ever seen this movie? I was talking to a younger one of my clients, and he said, well, actually, we just watched the movie yesterday. So that's what I mean of just like my overall awareness and connection to the earth and nature and gratitude always.
And you're just more aware and more calm, and that's why you notice all these things. And maybe they happen, but they've always happened. We were just always in a rat race, and we had agendas, and we were fearful and this and that, and just didn't notice
they're always there.
The daily miracles, and they're there, and that's again that level of clarity and spirituality, and consciousness, right? Again, it's all interconnected, and all this comes together, and of course you notice everything. versus noticing nothing. And that's, I mean, there's definitely middle ground in that, but it just feels sometimes where life's flying by and you're not noticing anything, or you're super connected and super
Yes, exactly.
and we feel we're getting there. So there's definitely a middle ground there.
And here's the secret too. If you can connect to that awareness and start really believing that, oh my gosh, like everything happens for a reason. And people say it all the time, but then they don't believe it the other 6 days out of the week.
Right.
If you start really, really believing and seeing it, then everything else aligns and comes for you professionally, emotionally,
100%.
mentally, everything. So it's like, it's
100%.
almost the key. It's the key that unlocks all the doors.
Right. So for me to answer the question professionally, the same answer. So thank God for you. Thank God for bringing clarity in my life. Never did I think I'd be in the health and wellness industry, and here I am, which I reflected on a lot. You know, I was never necessarily an audio video guy before I got into audio video. I was never a employee rewards guy before I got into employee rewards. I wasn't a real estate guy before I got in. I'm just saying that we are all adaptable human beings, and the right opportunity, the right motivating opportunity, right? Something that motivates you and inspires you and excites you is just around the corner. And man, the fact that we do get to help people and help them become more healthy and happier and more confident is such a is the biggest icing on the cake for sure. But at the same time, the excitement of opening up businesses and hiring employees and making money, and my wife's in the business, and man, it's just so gratifying professionally, and I know we're on to something, and we bring so much value, way more value than what we charge. So I'm just saying, like, we're professionally, I don't need or want anything else other than to help more people and have a bigger company and so on. But it's not that I need. I'm missing that we're missing a trinket or what. I know our business is going to evolve, you know, a million more times. But man, it's just professionally, I'm in a good spot. We're in a good industry. We're in an industry that needs what we're bringing to the table. It's lacking that, and we get to scale it. And we have some great ideas on how to scale it, how to scale it big and fast. And man, easy to get up in the morning. Very easy for
Yeah,
me.
and Eric, you said that you didn't think you would be the health and wellness guy, and you didn't think that you would be the audio video guy or the VIP perks guy or that guy, but you might have not been the other three guys. Actually, a health and wellness person, that's everyone out there can be a health and wellness. That's our purpose, is to be healthy and to practice all of this and transform ourselves into the best possible human being possible.
Right.
So you are that guy. It's in actually every single one of us. Anyone who's listening to this and anyone who's not listening to this, you are that health and wellness person. You really are. We all are.
Sounds good. Emotionally, definitely more self-aware, for sure. Definitely notice when my ego is still at play. Definitely notice when I'm trying to be manipulative and coming in with an agenda and trying to stop and trying to be more present in the situation and appreciative and respectful of the person that I'm communicating with. I still have a long way to go, but
And how do you work on that? Here's a little thing.
How do I work on that?
Yeah, how do you?
Well, again, being aware of it is I think the majority of it. Just catching myself without waiting for
That's it.
for someone to tell me that I was out of line or whatever else, which was my whole life. But anyway, so definitely more self-aware and catching it more and more every day, and fixing it internally and journaling about it and just thinking it through. way more motivated as a person than I was a year ago. Again, it was at the height of COVID. What I was doing currently at the time, career wise, was not working out. I was 1 month into training with you. So who knows where I was then mentally. Um, Man, I just, still a lot of bad habits, still drinking, still eating and snacking and all that stuff. Um, Emotionally too, I feel like I can overcome anything now, and the fact that I've climbed this huge mountain of obesity and drinking and just stacking all my chips on unhealthy, and here I am with 180 degrees a year later. Just shows that I'm capable of anything, and anyone's capable of it.
That's right.
And empathy, which kind of goes with self awareness.
Hmm.
Just feel like that's growing, and, and so on. Mentally strong. I feel well rested. I feel like I sleep well, work out a lot. Um, Business is in a good situation, so I'm not stressed. Family life, just mentally, I'm good and working on it. Spirit. Are we talking about what we would do differently and what we did wrong yet, or we're going to go back through the list?
Um, yeah, we can go through the questions. And again, the reason why Eric and I are sharing is just for the audience to start thinking of some of their responses. And basically, what Eric and I are saying, anyone else could be saying the same thing to themselves.
Right,
That's all it is.
100%. And I'm sure a lot of people connect with exactly what we've gone through. We're no different than the majority of people, but spiritually is definitely improved. More in touch with God, more relieving to God. Again, thanks to your help, I've gone to synagogue more, part of the congregation. I feel like I'm part of the congregation more. I just um, feel like there is that higher power that is the overall. Again, we still have to go out and live our lives. Not everything's just going to fall into place, but I am a little less more comfortable with being less in control and letting things happen and letting the universe do its thing. Um, which who the hell am I? Like where did that what I just said even come from? Like that's crazy. But anyway, and financially, way better spot than I was a year ago. Again, profitable, taking a salary, paying off credit cards, and just confident with what next year is going to look like, and yeah, blessed, grateful, all of the above. Just really quickly on what I feel I've done wrong, or I guess could have done more right, and that list is so long, right? It's everything. I could have worked out different. I could journal more often. I still have unhealthy, snacking habits. I'm not as disciplined as for example, you. Um, Man, there's a lot of disciplines and habits and routines that I wish I could be better at. That I did let go of here and there, like running. When I first started running, I said I was going to run every day. I haven't ran in a month, so just stuff like that I wish I was more disciplined, and I think I can get there in 2022. So that's definitely what I
Nice, Eric.
look forward to.
Great share. Great share. You want to go to question number two?
It's to
What things have slowed down your progress this past year? How, if you haven't already, would you change these things moving forward? Consider all areas of life. And again, areas of life. And here's where we talk about like your habits, education, employment, family, friends, people, life circumstances, mind, body, and soul. So, what things have slowed down your progress this past year?
what things slowed down my progress? Me, man. It's all me. There's nothing, nobody, nothing out there has slowed down my progress.
Because I love that answer. Because when you have your bad habits, your employment, your family, friends, and people, who's the only one who could control all of them?
Exactly. I was just going to say that even the things I don't control, like people
Right.
or toxic people or negative, or I put myself next to them and in that situation. And man, so it's all about me. It's all about, again, the self-awareness to know what situation I'm in and should be in and how to handle it better. But I mean that I guess is the biggest learning, um, positivity in this year, that I am only in control of me, and I did not think or talk that way last year, or would agree with it. I'd be like, well, what about that guy? And what about this job? And what about
Right.
that
Blaming
circumstance and the world and COVID and
Victim mentality.
and all this stuff that's going on, and the Browns can't win. And
Yeah, I don't know how you do. How do we fix the Brown situation? I'm still working on that part.
We can't. We have to
The frustration is there. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just saying, like it's everything around me that and I've literally personally experienced that the more I clean up my side of the street and put on that oxygen mask myself, everyone around me feels like they're more inspired and becoming healthier people and happier people, and I'm absolutely in control of only myself. That's it.
Yeah.
And the people around me, they're choosing to either do the same and grow and become happier, healthier people, or not. But that's not my choice.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. I would honestly answer the question the same thing. The only thing that slowed me down is me and my mind and thinking too far ahead sometimes. That's it.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem I have. I think I'm fixing it more. Like I'm not.
Yeah, you
I
definitely
used to live business wise 3 years ahead, 5 years ahead, and I am more appreciative of what's going on right now, and even if things aren't happening as fast as I would. And again, see, I even caught myself about to say that I would love to happen, but I don't know that I would love for it to happen anymore. I like dotting I's, crossing T's, letting things happen, learning from it, figuring things out correctly this time and not 100 miles an hour, making mistakes, and just figuring it out on the run. While that affects people, right? It affects people and vendors and employees and what. I like this, thinking things through, creating process and doing things the right way. It's very, very, very different than how I've had in the past. It's always like money and sales will fix everything, and we'll just figure it out. Well, no, that's not it. It's not healthy. Is the point? And this feels very healthy.
Yeah,
and at the right pace. And
exactly, because we're just letting things happen one day at a time. We're not looking too far ahead.
right.
And, all right, let's move on. All right, question number 3. What were your main priorities in 2021, so this past year, and what do your priorities look like moving forward? So we're going to look at what were our main priorities in 21. Here, I'll start there.
Yeah, you start.
My main priorities in 2021 was to literally work on my mental muscle and my regular muscles as well, but honestly more on my mental muscle. And I'm going to break down mental muscle into 6 things that we do, that I do, that our clients, we recommend them do, and other people in the world do that help build it. I mean, these are literally proven techniques. Number 1 is, positive self-talk. That's definitely number 1. Again, we'll go back to the Harvard study that was done like 5 years ago. 80% of our thoughts, 70,000 thoughts, 80% of them
70,000 thoughts
a day 80% of them
that's 56,000
are negative. Okay,
thoughts.
So we gotta practice positive self-talk. That's literally number
Right.
one. That'll get you everything you want. Number two is practicing gratitude. Again, we take for granted a lot of things that when we start doing that, negative thoughts come in, and we just operate at a very low energy. We just sit on the couch and eat or do whatever. Number three is journaling. Journaling is really the best way to build your muscle and momentum, because you write down what you did well, and you don't forget when you write things down. But if you don't write it down, you forget. So now you ran 2 miles, 3 days ago, you didn't write it down, you might forget. And journaling's big for that. And then what you didn't do well, so you can get it out on paper, so you're not necessarily thinking about it for the next week. And what resource, skill, tool, or person do you need to come into your life? And that's just getting specific of what you need for tomorrow or next week. And,
Right.
and journaling works, it helps. 4 is meditation. So, we can talk about that all day long. Visualization. And number 6 is just growth, and surround yourself with growth. So surrounding yourself with growth could be more personal development books, surrounding yourself with the right people, and it's big. It's big. I mean, just me surrounding myself with more personal growth people led me to so many books that opened my eyes to so many things, versus what I was doing before, which was playing poker and not in that environment, and not thinking about any of those things, and not transforming myself into a better person and more calm, and just have more clarity and more awareness, like we talked about in the previous question, that leads to everything. So those were my main priorities in 2001. Those are going to be my main priorities moving forward. And then part of that question is, now we're going to look at your priorities from 2021 and see exactly how they changed the trajectory of your life. So you had some priorities. Now, what did they do? How did they change your life? So, I mean, it's a big question. And again, for my personal story, my main priorities were building my mental muscle. The trajectory of my life just shot up.
Yep.
Okay. So it works.
So, my priorities is very easy for 2022, and I've already touched on that. Is discipline. I think I've again established the biggest change in my life happened this year for sure, and that's from stacking my chips towards unhealthy behaviors and going all in unhealthy behaviors. Now it's, how do I become more disciplined and eat better, work out better, journal every day and stick to that, morning and evening. Maybe again, I have an amazing morning routine. Like, if you morning routine, I can't believe it myself that I have this morning routine that I don't know how to even improve it. I mean, it's 95% perfect. Now, how do I create an evening routine, right? A night routine? How do I go to bed earlier? That's still a thing that I can do it. But anyway, I just got to do it. Eating better. I still snack. I still eat some garbage I shouldn't eat. My wife and I committed to trying to become pescatarian, so dropping the meat and the chicken and so on. We're okay with. We love fish and seafood, so we're great with that. So that's a great step forward. Man, there's everything. I could list everything that I could do better. My relationships with my wife, my relationship with my children, my relationship with my friends, synagogue, the congregation. I can be better at everything, and that's, I guess, my goal is to take everything up another level and to continue this success and continue to keep fixing me, and becoming a better human being and more self-aware and more empathetic and a better listener, and I mean the list goes on.
Right.
Yeah. So looking forward to it.
Awesome, man.
Continued growth.
Okay.
Every day.
So that was question number 3. Again, what were your main priorities in 21? What do your priorities look like moving forward? And consider how those priorities changed the trajectory of your life in 2021. So you're going to reflect back on it. All right, number 4. Number 4 is, if you could accomplish one big thing in 2022, what would it be and why?
If it's a big thing, right? If it's a big thing, I guess my fallback always is business. Maybe this answer should be personal, but just for me, it falls. So I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be authentic and keep it business, so we can reflect back in a year, and I'll be like, I can't believe your biggest thing was still about business in a year. So I have a feeling that that's coming, which is fine. But it is. I'd love to have 3 locations up and running, and have fundraised a big round to start taking this beyond just Northeast Ohio, but regionally, potentially nationally, etc. And I know a year is a big, audacious goal. I get that. But I think it's possible. I really do. I don't think it's crazy. We're already working on the second. And so it's one more location that we got to find in the next 6 months to make it live by the end of the year. I think it's very doable. And once those things fall into place, I think we would be a very exciting target for institutional capital that would want to pour gasoline on our fire and take us at least, or well, will take us, but the money will help fuel going regionally and nationally, and I think that's all possible in the next year. So I'm going to put it out there,
dude. That's great.
I'm going to put it out into the universe.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong to use business as, your biggest accomplishment for 2022, because at the end of the day, we are helping people. So, it's, and I put that as one of mine too.
Okay.
So
good.
And along with that, run a half marathon. So that's because I know it.
You're about to do it in about 20 minutes.
No, maybe maybe a quarter of a marathon, half of a half.
Wait, not a full marathon. You want to run a
half a marathon, but
13 miles. We might do that this afternoon.
I don't know, but
okay. Well, you're right. Sunny. You're right. We're going to do half of a half for sure.
Yeah.
We'll do 5-6 miles.
Yeah. So question number 4, again, if you could accomplish one big thing 2022, what would it be and why? So write that down. Think about that. So under that, you can write your goals moving forward. It doesn't necessarily have to be 1 or 2 accomplishments. It could be more than that, right? And you can have multiple goals in there. I like to say that every 30 days you should have a goal, right? The SMART goal. So that's 4 goals in the year. So you can break it down like that. Also start thinking about what obstacles may get in your way. That's big, because then when you see these obstacles coming, you can dodge them.
Right.
And there's always obstacles. Why do we have obstacles?
But most of them are you.
To grow.
Most of them are you.
Exactly.
There are no.
They're mind obstacles.
They're all mind obstacles.
But again, so what? Yeah, but you can kind of foresee them coming.
You can.
Right?
You can, for sure.
All right. Number 5, last one. The last one. And this one is very important. I think we should do it every day. What are you grateful for the most as you transition into the new year? And who and what made 2021 a special year? I guess I can start with this one. I will start with my son. As always, he's my inspiration, because everything that we teach and do is going to process into our children, and they are the ones that are going to change the world and make it a better place faster than we even think, right? So Nathan, my mom, Jack, my 2 brothers now, Eric and Ryan, congratulations again, guys. You and Inga.
Yep.
Because without you 2, there would be no Zero Doubt Club right now. And to all my friends that have inspired me and recommended awesome books for me to read, all the books that every single one of my friends has recommended has been awesome.
Right.
So, and my clients as well, you are my inspiration and my motivation to keep moving forward and practice the good habits that I preach as well. So without my clients, who knows where I would be.
Yep. So I generalized it. You're calling everyone out, but there's a million people that you probably forgot.
Of course.
So, man, I generalized it on anyone that was helpful and supportive of me and constructive, right? So all the positive people in my life that did give me that one more chance, that did give me that one more faith that I didn't deserve, but anyway. So obviously my wife and kids and you and you, Jeremy, all my friends, our new employees here are amazing. They're helping us and exceeding our very high expectations of them. So they're crushing it in the kitchen here, creating process and manuals that we're going to release next year. It's so exciting. And just new friends that I've met in this new healthy journey. Family, just new relationships with with the same people is so different from a new light. Yeah, I thank everyone. Thank God too for putting us in this game of a universe to play and thank you for the universe and thank you for the game.
Yeah,
this is, man, so much to be grateful for, so much to be thankful for. Man, I can go on. I can go.
Yeah,
I can literally
that's great.
say thank you for
that's
the
great.
next 365
great.
days.
Right.
But anyway, so that's
Every
it.
day.
So it's not complicated. Let's quickly summarize. Well, we'll also list the questions, but when looking back on the year, what mistakes did you make? What were your biggest wins? And what did these experiences teach you? Number two, what things have slowed down your progress in the past year? How are you going to change that moving forward? Question three, what are your main priorities for 2021? Or what are your main priorities? What were your main priorities in 2021? And what are now your priorities look like moving forward? One big thing in 2022, what would it be? And then what are you grateful for from 2021? Again, we're here for you guys. If you want to fill this out, again, DM us, call us, email us, meet us. We're happy to sit down and discuss these things with you. Again, initial conversations and meetings and even first training. So there's no cost. We just want to get to know you. You get to know us. If we're a fit, great. If we're not, no worries. But again, if you need a coach, if you need someone to hold your hand and help you be a better you, I know we can, and we wish everyone a lot of health, more health, happiness, and success in 2022.
That's right.
Jeremy, anything else?
Yeah, and guys, feel free to keep sending in any questions or anything that you want Eric and I to do a podcast on or talk about. We'll do that as well. So just find a way to reach us, website or any of the social accounts, and we'll make it happen.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's go on that run.
Let's do it. All right, the sun's still out.
Bye.
All right, guys, have a good one.